July 29th. Now remember, this is the last week before Mercury retrograde. So if you're going to make big purchases, this is the time. Now, like I said, some astrologers don't even do it this week because they consider it the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. I personally wait to the last minute. So get your purchases done before Sunday. All right. Or let me tell you, it doesn't always work out well if you push it during retrograde. Now, if there's things that, like I'm always talking about how I have a store and how sometimes I just have to buy things, or sometimes you have to sign some contracts, but these are the kind of things you got to take really seriously. You've got to get these things checked out 3 times. Also, this is just not a good time for out of the blue purchases. Okay. I'm telling you, you don't want to learn the hard way. Okay. So Monday, the 29th, let's see, I wrote down run errands and mind your own business. The moon will be in Taurus till the evening. The evening will get a little bit more social. We have a square with Mercury. The moon will be square Mercury and Venus. Even though it's trine Pluto, Mercury itself will be squaring Mars. Venus is squaring Uranus. There's just a whole lot of squares. And a lot of these things, Jupiter square Saturn, they run through a lot of the month, and lot through the month of August. Okay. So it is what it is. We're going to be able to see what's not working. We're going to be able to see what needs to change. And hey, it's still summer. So let's just roll with it. Okay. Tuesday, the 30th, take care of your responsibilities first. That's because Saturn's involved and there's a square with Saturn, and we need, we can easily get caught up in all the Gemini energy and just goof off and be social, but don't forget the responsibilities. 7:31, work hard, play hard. Don't ignore your relationships. Okay. The moon will move into Cancer by the evening, late evening on Wednesday, the 31st. The 1st of August, the moon will be in Cancer. It'll be trining Saturn. And this is Thursday the 1st, and it's a great day to be affectionate to those you love and enjoy a nice meal, okay? Take advantage of that comforting Cancer energy. On Friday the 2nd, we also will have the moon in Cancer. It will also be trine Saturn and Neptune. It's a little bit lighter of a day. We want to take advantage of these lighter days, so make sure that you play. Venus is leaving the sign of Leo. It's heading into the sign of Virgo as we go into a new moon weekend in the sign of Leo. Okay, so there's a lot of spice. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of heart energy. Saturday, daydream of your future. There's inspiring ideas available. We have a trine with Saturn and Neptune. Sunday, place your order to the universe. This is my way of saying, like, make your wishes. Place your order to the universe. Ask for what you want from your heart. There's going to be a lot of inspiration with all this fire energy out there with this Leo new moon at 7:13 a.m. on the 4th of August. And then we go into the Mercury retrograde, which we're going to talk more about next month. But basically, Mercury is going to be at 4 degrees of Virgo when this retrograde begins, and it's going to move back in time. So basically, Mercury is moving along. It gets to 4 degrees Virgo. It retrogrades back all the way to 21 degrees Leo, and then it will go direct. Okay, so what that means is that it goes up to Virgo, it goes back to Leo, which is the same degree that we were at on July 16th. So whatever's been going on since July 16th, we're going back over that ground. We're going to get a fresh viewpoint. Okay, now Virgo's the analyzer and Leo is like the heart. Okay, so we have to ask ourselves some questions. Are we showing up for ourselves? Are we scheduling ourselves, showing up for ourselves? Because Virgo loves a good schedule, right? So there's kind of like this back and forth. We want to reflect on our brilliance and our passion projects. We want to look at, are we being fearful about jumping into our passion projects? Some of that could be related to being a parent, because this is Leo energy. It rules children. there's a connection with your childhood joy. Okay. And really taking a peek on that. Now, we want to be careful about misunderstandings in love during this Mercury retrograde because Leo's involved and Leo does rule dating in astrology. And good old Mercury just loves to mess with our forms of communication. Okay. So be careful sending those text messages because they can get really easily misconstrued. It's really hard sometimes to understand tone in text messaging. And so be really careful in your dealings, in general, but especially with relationship themes. Okay. And basically just kind of looking at Leo, our heart, Virgo, which is our contribution to the world, our service to the world, but it also has themes of servitude. Okay. So we have to look at where the fine lines are, and we're going to have plenty of time to do so because Mercury is going to be retrograde for almost the whole month of August. And then when it does go direct, I believe it's on the 28th of August, then it's going to come back over one more swoop over that time period from July 16th. Okay. So get your pen and your paper out, start writing down what's going on because it's always good to pay attention during a Mercury retrograde. I find interesting things happen. I find out interesting things, and it doesn't have to be dreaded. Will there be technology problems? Probably. Mercury was in retrograde when the new year started. Right? So there's been Mercury retrograde themes right across the board all this year. And so now we are truly in a Mercury retrograde. And honestly, I think the age of Aquarius is going to include lots of internet problems and lots of technology issues. And so that's just my opinion. Pluto in the modern sign of Aquarius that does rule the internet. Okay. All right. So let's see what you need to know this last week of July. You're starting off with the Ace of Wands. There's a lot of inspiration here, and there's a lot of new ideas. This is pretty exciting, Ace of Wands. You've got the Five of Pentacles. You got some almost like the old wound coming up, the poverty mentality, the feeling left out in the cold. Okay. But it's 5. You're ready to change that. Pentacles is anything of value. So there may be some relationship with money. You may be starting to look at that a little bit differently. There's a lot of things coming up to change this month. We also have the 10 of Pentacles, which says having it all looks different to everyone. And to her, it looks like having a lot of cats. And we are moving into Leo season here. So Leo is the cats. Okay. So it's really about what really brings you joy. There's an opportunity for freedom from some of this old, like Chiron energy, this old wound. It's time to allow that wound to be healed, to be able to help others with it. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of joy with the 10 of Pentacles. It looks like you're taking time to savor what's important. And I really hope that you savor some of this summer energy because it goes so quickly.